The controversial bill on conversion is set to be returned to the cabinet yet again on Sunday. Prime Minister Netanyahu and the coalition are expected to approve a compromise proposal to the bill, which is threatening to bring down the government. The changes in the conversion process will not be voted on as a law in the Knesset, where it's already passed its first reading, but rather will be made directly by the cabinet. In an interview with IBA's Eli Wogelenter, member of Knesset Rabbi Dov Lipman of Yesh Atid explained some of the misperceptions that people have about the bill.
There are three elements which people don't understand. Number one, people don't understand the current situation in Israel and the catastrophe which awaits us if we don't deal with it, and I'll explain. People don't understand that the law itself says nothing about halacha. It's not the Knesset making a decision about Jewish law. And number three, when it comes to the halachic aspect of it, the parts of Jewish law which those conversion courts will deal with, people don't realize that we're not violating halacha. No one is suggesting that Jewish law be overlooked. It's not a battle of Jewish law versus not Jewish law. It is a battle of being more strict versus being more lenient.
All right, let's take it one by one. You talked about a danger that lies in front of us. What exactly are you referring to in the danger in front of us?
In the 1990s, close to 1 million Russian Jews moved to Israel under the law of return, which allows people who have a non-Jewish mother but have a Jewish father or Jewish grandfather to return to Israel. They are living in our country. They are speaking Hebrew. They have Hebrew names. They attend our universities. They serve in the army. Our children meet their children. There are going to be marriages that come from these relationships. If we don't enable these people to convert, we are talking about an intermarriage en masse. Intermarriage en masse in the state of Israel, Jew and non-Jew. You talk about confusion about who is a Jew. Not addressing this issue is not only a lack of leadership, it's a lack of responsibility, and it's literally yielding to what I view as a tremendous internal threat to the future of the state of Israel.
Regarding Jewish law itself, what is the implication of this bill on halacha? How will it impact Jewish law?
The law does not address halacha at all. The law says that rabbis on a local level can establish conversion courts, and the law emphasizes that that local conversion court must be established by a rabbi who received ordination from the chief rabbinate, number one, and that someone on that court had to have served as a Rosh Yeshiva in either an ultra-Orthodox or religious Zionist yeshiva for at least 10 years. That clause was put in to preserve the fact that we are only empowering rabbis who are going to act within the framework of halacha.
So the argument being given that it's just some local rabbi anywhere doing what he wants is false from the beginning.
There is a lot of false information that's out there about the law. It's worthwhile for everyone to read the law, to understand it. The law does not enable a court to violate Jewish law for the sake of conversions.
What is it about this bill that people don't understand, that people are confused, people don't really get what it's about?
So first of all, the law, like I said before, says nothing about halacha or Jewish law. The law says that local courts will be able to establish conversion courts. Local rabbis can establish conversion courts, and as opposed to it all being under the chief rabbi or the chief rabbinate, which is stringent and distancing in nature, we will allow rabbis who have the courage to be lenient within the framework of halacha to allow these people to convert, and one step further, to actually proactively convert their children. In terms of the technicalities, for a moment on how those rabbis will do that, there's a category in halacha called non-Jews from Zera Yisrael, from Jewish descent. Yes, they are not Jewish. We are not suggesting that they're Jewish. They're not Jewish. They don't have a Jewish mother, and we hold, according to halacha, that it follows matrilineal descent, and no one is debating that.
But they have Jewish blood in them.
It's Jewish descent. They're Zera Yisrael. And the sources, the Tosfos Rid, for example, one of the Rishonim, says they have Kedushat Yisrael. They have the holiness of Israel in them. It is clear that it's a separate category. Now, we're not saying that they don't have to go through a conversion. They do have to go to mikvah, they do have to have a circumcision, and they have to go through a process. The question is, do they really have to right now be living a full Jewish lifestyle, living with all the 613 mitzvot, and the sources are clear in general that might not be a demand that we have to make. We're not saying there shouldn't be an acceptance of mitzvot, but this idea that it's all or nothing is simply not accurate. The sources are there, and especially when they're from Zera Yisrael, from their Jewish descent, and they want to be part of the Jewish people. And let me add one more point. They are serving in our military. They are willing to die for the Jewish people. What greater statement of I'm part of your nation can there be? It's our obligation as we look towards the future of the Jewish people to be courageous, be lenient, but lenient based on very legitimate sources.
As fighting